This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now it's 6 on Good Morning Indiana.
You're lucky if you've got 3 feet between you and the other bunk.
As the coronavirus outbreak continues, concern inside Indiana's prisons continues to grow. Why the families of some inmates say the prisons are breeding grounds for the virus. Hoosiers are good weathering rough times. New this morning, we're looking at how Indiana businesses are planning the rebound once this pandemic ends. Residents in Mooresville are concerned with a proposed sewer rate increase.
Our bill will go from $39.92 to $59.49. It's huge. That's huge for a lot of people.
Working for you, why the town council president says it's necessary. Plus, could Indiana Beach soon be proving there's more than corn in Indiana once again? This morning, we're looking at the potential plans to reopen this historic park. And here at 6 o'clock, we want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. It is Tuesday, April 21st. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen and Rafael Sanchez are working from home today as we continue social distancing. Rafael, good morning to you down in Johnson County.
Lauren, good morning. I only have 4 words this morning. I'm going to stand by my 4 words. After yesterday's forecast, Todd Clausen for president. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Rafael. I wish, it's just probably like the president or governor or mayor. You probably can't do everything right to please everybody. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take those temperatures and the sunshine from yesterday into today. Well, we'll take the sunshine at least into today. But it is going to be a little bit cooler across the area, but you definitely need to have the light jacket handy if you are going to be out and about. Remember the sunscreen as well. Even though temperatures are going to be running a little bit cooler today, you could still pick up a sunburn in about 15 to 20 minutes with those high UV index. Temperatures this morning are in the process of dropping across the area. 40s to the north, 50s to the south. Almost everybody will drop down into the 40s here this morning as this cold front continues to work its way through. It went through dry. There's a little bit of cloud cover that's present across the area right now, but as that front pushes off into Ohio, it is going to take the clouds with it as well. Here's your next 12 hours of temperatures. You notice we still continue to fall. We probably get to our coolest spot of the morning around 10 a.m. and then the temperatures will slowly start to climb as we work our way into the afternoon hours, and eventually we get back up into the low 50s. So it's not the picture perfect day that we had yesterday, but it's a decent day here for us on this Tuesday across central Indiana.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic as you're heading out on the roads on this Tuesday. Here's a look in the downtown area at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. I-65 traffic is moving along smoothly through this area. To the right of your screen, though, you'll see some flashing lights. That is the road work going on right now on eastbound lanes of I-70. Eastbound I-70 closed between I-465 on the east side and the North Split area. Later this week, Friday morning, we're set to have the westbound lanes of I-70 closed in the same area. So just keep that in mind as if this is part of your commute in or out from the east side of town. We'll continue to keep you updated, but as of right now, no crashes to report around the metro area. New from overnight, flames forcing more than hundreds of residents from a downtown apartment building, and this all happened at 1:30 this morning at 800 Cap. Fire crews say the fire was at the rooftop common area, and we're told the flames did not spread to any of those apartment units inside, but a few units did sustain some water damage. This morning, we know all the residents and their pets are safe. One firefighter is being treated for a shoulder injury.
The time now is 6:03. We turn our attention to COVID-19 and its impact on Hoosier lives. Here are the latest numbers this morning. State health officials report 7 additional deaths from the coronavirus. That's 10 fewer new deaths than reported on Sunday. In total, 569 Hoosiers have died from COVID-19 since the pandemic began. Also, according to the Department of Health, there are 505 new COVID-19 cases. So far, 11,686 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus.
Well, 2 recent COVID-19 victims were inmates from the Plainfield Correctional Facility, both men in their 60s. Since this pandemic began, we've received multiple messages from people who are scared for their loved ones who are behind bars. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what the Department of Corrections is doing to keep inmates safe. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So as of right now, there are 221 confirmed COVID-19 cases at Indiana prisons. 3 inmates have died and 83 employees have also tested positive. Now, the Department of Corrections does not release details on staff conditions or the locations where they've tested positive. The Indiana Department of Corrections did post this video on YouTube detailing some of the things they're doing to keep inmates safe. Right now, visitors and volunteers are not allowed into correctional facilities, and any sick employees are not allowed to work, and they are taking the recommended precautions.
We continue to reinforce with staff and offender alike to follow personal hygiene best practices recommended by the Indiana State Department of Health and the Center for Disease Control.
They've also stopped inmates who were on work crews or work release from leaving the facility. Now, the Indiana Department of Corrections says they're doing deep cleanings of all of their prisons, and they do have plans in place for symptomatic inmates, even if it does take over a large part of the population there in the prisons. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
The time now is 6:05 here at RTV6. We have a new campaign. It's called Rebound Indiana. It's focused on the issues that you face to recover from this pandemic. Right now, the federal government is really scrambling to fund a program meant to help small businesses and prevent layoffs. That program ran out of money, though some small businesses right here in Indiana were able to tap in to those dollars. At the Crowbar Restaurant and Lounge, 16 jobs have been spared from the unemployment line.
This is definitely a safety net.
The owner, Brian Machino, was able to sign up for the Paycheck protection program for a loan in excess of $80,000. That's giving the family-owned eatery in Trafalgar the ability to stay afloat.
We've just been struggling, day by day, and I feel I'm blessed a little bit because my community has supported me, and I'm indebted to them. Trafalgar is a special place.
Brian's business is among the thousands nationwide participating in the federal loan program. In Franklin, Mutual Savings Bank helped process nearly $6 million in federal assistance through its drive-through operation.
Culmination of getting those funds in the hands of the people who actually can use them and help their employees and pay rent and things like that.
Hey, Greg, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Here's your paycheck protection application and approved promissory note.
Greg Moore owns 3 Sylvan Centers, one in Franklin, one in Bloomington, another in Columbus. In his 15 years in business, he's never laid off an employee. He avoided that by getting a loan for more than $30,000 to make sure his people can stay on the job.
Gives us a chance to do the business the right way and not worry about payroll for a while. Hopefully in 2 months we'll be through this.
Whether it's tutoring or serving food, both businesses are banking on being around after the virus. As we focus on Indiana's rebound, the numbers are simply staggering. A new study out this morning from the National Federation of Independent Businesses found that a majority of businesses applied for the payment protection plan, but has heard nothing from the government. In fact, because they ran out of money, impacting, of course, those unemployment numbers. So as we focus on this issue of Indiana's rebound, RTV6 is hosting a special virtual town hall meeting tomorrow night. Join us for this town hall forum with the Department of Workforce Development's top leaders. That's all beginning tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening. You can join the discussion and ask questions about getting back to work and making ends meet on the RTV6 Facebook page and the IndyChannel.com.
Here at 6:08 on Friday, the White House announcing a $16 billion program to help farmers rebound from the coronavirus outbreak. RTV6 is learning about how the crisis is hurting Indiana's agriculture industry. Dennis Frey runs the Shelby County Co-op, serving more than 600 farmers in 8 surrounding counties. He says the pandemic is forcing farmers to sit on their crops that they can't move or sell.
Very concerned about basically, how long is this thing going to play out? We're in uncharted territory, no precedent to go by.
Well, federal officials say the coronavirus food assistance program will provide $16 billion in direct support to farmers, ranchers, and agricultural producers. The USDA will buy $3 billion worth of products and distribute them to food banks and other nonprofit organizations across the country. And now the loss of several big events due to COVID-19 concerns has had a major impact on the tourism industry right here in Indianapolis. But as our Alyssa Donovan explains, experts say that Indiana is actually one of the luckier states when it comes to the tourism impact due to COVID-19. Alyssa.
Like most states, Indiana's tourism industry has taken a major hit due to the COVID-19 pandemic, rescheduling of the Indy 500 and cancellation of sports events. But experts say Indiana is actually one of the lucky states when it comes to the impact on tourism.
So right now, Indiana is not as affected by the tourism and travel industry, simply due to numbers.
Well, visitor spending in 2019 accounted for $9.3 billion in total economic impact. Indiana has several other industries still picking up the slack.
So at least, this one industry has the Midwest a little bit safeguarded. And since we do still need things like the agriculture industry, manufacturing industry, that's actually better news for the Midwest.
Other states like Florida, Nevada, and Hawaii, whose economy depend heavily on tourism, are going to have a bigger challenge to return to normalcy.
Losing this chunk of time alone is detrimental to their economy.
While not as devastating, Indiana has seen major losses too. The Big Ten tournament was expected to bring in $15 million to the city of Indianapolis. The NCAA tournament close to $40 million. And rescheduling the Indy 500 could mean far less turnout than the typical 300,000 fans who flocked to the city in past years. There are more than 150,000 people who work in tourism here in Indiana. All of those people are being greatly impacted by these closures and cancellations. However, there is a silver lining. Indiana has a better chance of a quicker recovery than some other states because we have other support from different industries. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
And we look forward to everyone coming back and visiting Indianapolis again. The time now is 6:11. Let me take you to Boone County, where the Whitestown Fire Department is finding new ways to make emergency situations less overwhelming for children with autism. The fire department, along with the Behavior Analysis Center for Autism in Whitestown, developed comfort kits for use during stressful emergency situations. Now, the goal is to keep children with autism calm and to reduce noise and to help those kids communicate with first responders. The comfort kits include noise-canceling headphones, sunglasses to shield kids from scary sights, and sensory toys, as well as a weighted blanket.
A proposed sewer rate hike isn't sitting well with some Mooresville residents who say the plan is badly timed. Coming up at 6:15, why the town council president says the plan needs to move forward.
And Lauren, an Indiana attraction that shut down before the pandemic, may have a future after all. Coming up at 6:17, what officials are saying about the new possibility of summer memories at Indiana Beach this year.
And if you're going to be out and about today to exercise, you'll be in pretty good shape. Temperatures will be in the 50s, a little breezy, but no alerts for you as the sunshine will be here across central Indiana. As we go throughout the next couple days, though, things will be changing. We'll talk more about that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues.
$25 off any plumbing repair.
Welcome back. The town of Mooresville is moving forward with plans to raise sewer rates. That's not sitting well with some who say it's not the right time. Some homeowners are looking at the average monthly increase of $9 to $16. A public hearing is set for 6:30 tonight, but some say with the COVID-19 pandemic, the project should be pushed back. Homeowner Susan Massey found out about the proposed increase after getting a public hearing notice in the mail. The sewer rate increase would have gone into effect this summer, but the town has already pushed it back to February 2021.
I just wanted someone to hear what's going on, especially during a pandemic when so many are losing their jobs or limited on funds, and making them worry. Even if this isn't planning to take place until February, you've still got people worried.
I don't think you get any more essential than sewer use. As sewers go down, you're in big trouble as a town. So this also is an update to the sewer system in general.
Well, town council president says this has been in the works for a year now, plus rates have not increased in a decade, and the project is greatly needed to address the aging infrastructure on the south side of town. The public is welcome to attend today's meeting. Officials will use overflow rooms and video to make sure they are following social distancing. You can also email in your comments, and they'll be read at the meeting. You can find a link by clicking on this story in the RTV6 app.
There's more than corn in Indiana. That's super sensational, exciting vacational. Indiana Beach.
Indiana Beach could be among the many businesses reopening when the stay-at-home restrictions are lifted. What a great commercial. Can't forget that little jingle there. The popular amusement park along Lake Schaefer near Monticello announced its closure, as you may recall, back in February for reasons having nothing to do with the pandemic. The decision appeared to be permanent at the time, but a spokesperson for the park's owner says it's working with White County officials to sell the landmark with the expectation to open and operate it this year. That could be some good news there in Monticello. With more good news, of course, our own Todd Clausen. Todd, yesterday, beautiful. Today, I get it. It could be a little bit cooler, but so what?
Yeah, I like your attitude, Raphael. Yeah, so what? You know, it's still going to be sunny, and the sunshine, that helps everything, no matter where you are. Big difference between 54, which I think we'll get back to for our high temperature this afternoon, with sunshine compared to 54 with cloud cover. So your weather headlines, another sunny day today. It's a bit cooler, a little breezy at times as well, but we get right back into the warmer temperatures come tomorrow, as we'll see highs eventually climb all the way back up to near 70 degrees. Outside right now, we're in the process of cooling down. A cold front's working its way through the state right now. So we're at 43 in Peru and Tipton, 53 in Bloomington. We split the difference at 50 in Indianapolis. But I do think everybody will fall into the 40s here this morning before we start to see the temperatures start to rise once again. Storm Team 6 radar shows nothing, a clean sweep. We had a few sprinkles earlier this morning, but they basically faded away. We're still lingering. We're still holding on to a little bit of lingering cloud cover across the area, but that too will start to make its way out of the area and back off to our west. You notice clear skies from Minneapolis to Omaha down towards Wichita, and that's the sunshine we enjoy today, and a good amount of sunshine for the day tomorrow as well. Now look at these temperatures. We only get back up to right around 51 to 54 degrees in most locations this afternoon, and when you factor in the breeze, it'll feel a little bit cooler than that, but it's still a good night for grilling out in the backyard with the family. You may not want to eat at the picnic table in the backyard. You may want to eat indoors, but you certainly can fire up the grill. Temperatures will be falling into the 40s pretty quickly once the sun starts to set, which is today right at 8:30 in the evening. Now, as you look at your temperature trend, it is up and down. And normally when you see this temperature trend map up and down, it means that there's several fronts going through or storms coming through, and that is going to be the case. We talked about today and all the sunshine. Tomorrow's still a great day for us with highs anywhere from 65 to 70 degrees and increasing clouds. But as you look at your 7-day planning forecast, once we get to Thursday and beyond, there's almost a daily chance of rain or thunderstorms in the forecast. I think the rain is probably the most widespread during the day on Thursday. Then Friday, most of the first half of the day is dry, but then we get another round of rain coming in here during the evening hours into the day on Saturday. So it just gets a little bit unsettled. The good news is temperatures do remain relatively mild in the upper 50s to low 60s across most of the area.
We've seen the impact, of course, of COVID-19 on businesses, and now we're beginning to see the impact on mental health caused by this pandemic. A recent study shows that prescriptions of anti-anxiety medications jumped 34% between February the 16th and March the 15th. Antidepressants were up 19%, and medications to combat insomnia rose 15%. The study's author says it's actually encouraging to see that people are getting help that they need right now. You can talk to your doctor if you'd like to explore more mental health solutions. Many are, as you know, are offering virtual appointments and sessions. Stay Stimulus checks are still being deposited into bank accounts this morning, but new at 6:27, we're looking into a glitch. That's right, a glitch, sending money into the wrong accounts so you don't waste your money. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:24 on our Tuesday. Raphael, it is time to talk about what is trending at 6.
So I got an email late last night about this amazing thing they're doing down in Brown County. And you know I love Brown County because of the fudge. But now I even like Brown County even more because of this new effort. Check this out, what's happening in Nashville. This is a new effort to help support healthcare workers. If you head down to Brown County, you will see that many of the trees in Nashville are embraced with these white ribbons. The Brown County Convention and Visitors Bureau says it wants to send a big thank you to all the healthcare workers that are risking so much right now. In fact, the white ribbon movement is popping up across the country. There's even a website encouraging homeowners to put white ribbons on their trees until the end of the pandemic. What a good way to do that.
Yeah, a great idea. And I also love Brown County. They have a lot of great trees down there, so a great spot to visit if you're looking to kind of get out of your house. 14-year-old Sam Shore, he had a birthday to remember. Upper Arlington, Ohio teen. He's about to start his second round of chemotherapy. So dozens of friends and family and neighbors, they lined up in their cars for a COVID-friendly 20-minute birthday parade past his home. Shore says with his family and friends around him, things are a lot better.
I hope people continue that parade tradition long after all this is over, because that's been really a great way to keep people's spirits up. So, Lauren, what's better than seeing mini alpacas? I've never seen a big alpaca. So here's a mini alpaca dressed up in party outfits walking down your street. Check it out. And that's what's happening in Orange County, California, where two mini alpacas named Autumn and Willow put on a mini parade for the Coto de Casa residents. They become so popular that people are putting in birthday and graduation drive-by requests on Facebook.
Well, that's awfully cute.
There you go.
Not alpacas, but Todd Clausen knows a lot about llamas from the state fair last year, Todd. Different animal, but they look similar.
I do. I'm sure we could probably pull that story that I did somewhere up on
That'd be a good news story.
IndyChannel.com. I got some good pictures with them. They got quite the personality. I actually love doing that story. All right, outside right now, we're dealing with the clearing skies. There's a cold front working its way through right now with a little bit of cloud cover and temperatures that are still in the 50s right now in some locations, but everybody will drop into the 40s this morning. And we get down to probably about 43 degrees by 10 a.m. and then gradual warming as we work our way into the afternoon hours. The good news is nothing but sunshine today. It's a bright day for us, but those highs only get back to right around 50 degrees in Peru and Muncie later on this afternoon. Bloomington, Columbus, and points to the south should be generally right around 55 degrees.
Thousands of Hoosiers have received their stimulus checks, but many more, they're still waiting. Our consumer reporter, John Matarese, is looking into a glitch, sending money into the wrong accounts.
1 week after the IRS sent stimulus payments to tens of millions of taxpayers, many people still haven't seen that money yet. Well, now it turns out a glitch may have sent their money to the wrong place. Use a tax prep service last year like H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, or even TurboTax? Some of their clients have checked the IRS website, irs.gov, and found the wrong bank account number listed with their name. So what happened? Turns out if you got a refund anticipation loan, or had your tax prep fees taken out of your refund, or had your refund put onto a debit card, the IRS may not know your actual bank account number. Your $1,200 may have been sent to a temporary bank account that your preparer used last year. The IRS says it will all be returned and sent to the right people, but it could take some time. If you don't have your stimulus yet, you can't call anyone to try to fix it. Instead, your best bet is to try to go to the IRS website, irs.gov, and enter your bank account information there. And that way you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on on Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday morning. Here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. The Indiana Supreme Court has ruled that creditors cannot seize stimulus payments from your bank account. The ruling also says lower courts may not issue new holds, attachments, or garnishments that cover funds and bank accounts that stimulus payments were sent to. The only exceptions are for back child support payments.
The pandemic is not stopping one farmer's market from offering fresh local produce. The Fishers Farmers Market will offer online ordering starting this Sunday at 9 a.m. They will take a maximum of 400 orders per week, 100 for home delivery, and 300 for on-site pickup. Shoppers can pick up their orders at Holland Park the following Saturday between 8 a.m. and noon.
Businesses continue to make big changes to support healthcare workers on the front lines of this pandemic. MSP Aviation in Bloomington usually makes parts for airplanes. The owner tells RTV6 that MSP is now making face shields for healthcare facilities all across the Midwest. Their first shipment of 25,000 face shields will go out later this week. First here at 6:30, we want to thank you for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. It is Tuesday, April 21st. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez. Another great day to practice social distancing. Todd Clausen by either taking a walk on the Monon or the Franklin City trails. It's just going to be another nice day.
Yeah, you know, anywhere you want to go across central Indiana, whether it's the trails you mentioned or just your neighborhood, Raphael, we're in great shape today. You're just going to have a little bit of a warmer jacket or maybe a sweatshirt on today because it's going to be running a little bit cooler than yesterday because a cold front's working its way through the area right now. But otherwise, we are going to be talking about another sun-filled day. When you have the sunshine out, it just makes everybody feel a little bit better. Now, the temperatures are still in the 50s in some locations this morning, but we'll continue to fall into the 40s as this cold front works its way through. And you notice there's a little bit of cloud cover that's out here still. That's part of the cold front going through, but we're done with any threat of showers that were in the forecast throughout the course of the overnight hours. So that is good news at least. And then going forward in this forecast, we will see the temperatures slowly start to climb later on this afternoon. You just got to be a little bit patient. It's just going to be a gradual temperature climb throughout the day today. Back to about 48 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour, and then high temperatures will be topping off in the low to mid 50s. I'll also note there's going to be a bit of a breeze out there throughout the day today, and as a result, that's going to make it feel a little bit cooler. So it's not a picture perfect day, but by no means is it a bad day here across central Indiana. Enjoy the sunshine.
All right, Todd, and we're getting a look at the sun coming up right now over central Indiana. This is our camera at I-70 at Rural Street and Keystone Avenue on the near east side of town. You can see the traffic down below. That's westbound I-70 heading into the downtown area. That's traveling up to speed, not too busy at this early hour. Eastbound lanes, those are closed due to that long-term INDOT construction project. The westbound lanes set to close Friday morning now. Of course, we'll keep you updated on when all the lanes of I-70 are closed between the north split and the east side. New from overnight, a fire caused flames to burst from the roof of a downtown apartment building. A total of 27 fire units were called out to the 800 Cap apartments at North Capitol and West St. Clair Street just before 1:30 this morning. Firefighters tell us the fire was in a rooftop common area. It did not spread to any apartments inside, but it still forced people who live in the complex out into the streets overnight.
I just got home from work. As soon as I pulled in the gate, I looked up and I saw the fire on top of the roof. Literally sparks flying off of the roof. What's really scary is it's going to take hours and hours and hours just to find out if my apartment has damage.
Well, the apartment complex is a former industrial building on the near north side. No residents were hurt, thankfully. The fire department tells us that one firefighter suffered some minor injuries in a fall.
The time now is 6:33. Our state has seen nearly 569 deaths due to the COVID-19. The governor has extended the state's stay-at-home order all the way through May the 1st, but there are some changes to those restrictions happening today. So let's talk about them right now. The governor says some elective medical procedures can now resume, and that includes diagnosing, screening, and treating conditions like cancer and heart issues. The governor also talked about the weekend protest of the stay-at-home order outside the governor's residence. He says that he understands their frustration, but he says it's also gatherings like that that could set the state back.
I totally get the anxiety and the impatience and the desire to get back out there and get back out the way things used to be. There will be a new normal, and we will get there, and we're on the right path. That's the somewhat frustrating thing is, for the most part in the state of Indiana, we're on the right path.
Also, during that briefing, State Health Commissioner Dr. Chris Box says that she's encouraged that the number of COVID-19 cases may be starting to slow. However, she says she is not convinced that Indiana is close to reaching its peak just yet.
At 6:34, 2 recent COVID-19 victims were inmates from the Plainfield Correctional Facility, both men in their 60s. Since the pandemic began, we've received multiple calls from people scared for their loved ones who are behind bars. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what one woman says her husband is dealing with at an Indiana prison. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So this past weekend and coming up this weekend, there were protests happening, people wanting to have more social distancing for inmates in Indiana prisons. And a woman we spoke with says that her husband is in a prison, and she says that there's just not enough being done there to keep them safe. We aren't naming what prison Tracy Claycamp's husband is at, but she says it's a breeding ground for the virus. According to her husband, Claycamp says they aren't being given materials to sanitize their areas, and they aren't even able to practice social distancing.
You're lucky if you've got 3 feet between you and the other bunk. The state is responsible for the inmate, and they're supposed to take care of that inmate regardless of why they're there.
The Indiana Department of Corrections did post this video on YouTube explaining what they're doing to keep inmates safe. Visitors and volunteers are not allowed to come into the facility. Sick employees aren't able to come to work, and inmates on work release are not allowed to leave. So right now there are 221 confirmed inmate COVID-19 cases in Indiana prisons, and 3 inmates have died. 83 employees have also tested positive for the coronavirus. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Amazon workers are planning another walkout over concerns about COVID-19. Hundreds of warehouse workers across the country are planning to call out starting today. The workers are calling for Amazon to provide more protections for them from the coronavirus. Amazon has said it's taking protection measures, including providing masks, raising pay, and hiring more workers. But some employees say that Amazon is not notifying them when other workers get sick and is also not providing adequate paid sick leave. Workers at Amazon facilities here in Indianapolis and Plainfield are among those who have signed up for this week's job action.
The time now is 6:36. We're getting more insight into that Paycheck protection program by the U.S. Small Business Administration. According to that group, nearly 36,000 Hoosier businesses have taken part in the federal stimulus program. But there's some issues with the program. The SBA says 35,990 Indiana businesses were approved for those loans for a total of nearly $7.5 billion. That money is supposed to be used to help pay employees. Now, the program has been criticized in recent days. You see, some large companies used loopholes meant to help small businesses and small mom and pop stores. It includes restaurant chains like Ruth Chris Steakhouse, as well as large coal mining and other energy companies. The controversy has caused the restaurant chain Shake Shack to return the $10 million that it received from the federal government. The company's CEO says his business was able to get financial help in other ways. And he says he hopes the money he is returning will be used to pay it forward to other small businesses.
By returning our $10 million, that $10 million now can go back into the pot, can go to the people who deserve it, and we hope can go help inspire the next round. As you're seeing the Treasury.
Later today, Congress could vote on an expansion of the Paycheck protection program, since funding for the original loan program, as you know, has already run out. Congressional Democrats and the Trump administration appear to have struck a deal that will add nearly $300 million in loans for small businesses. It will also send more money to hospitals and help pay for more COVID-19 testing across the country.
RTV6 is focusing on Indiana's rebound in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Join us for a virtual forum with the Department of Workforce Development's top leaders. That's tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. You can join the discussion, ask questions about getting back to work and making ends meet. It's all on the RTV6 Facebook page and also at theindychannel.com.
The COVID-19 outbreak has been especially tough on one of the city's most key industries. We're talking about tourism and hospitality, how they plan on starting to rebound in the days and weeks to come. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Check up at Golden Oak Lending.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:41. Raphael, we know Indiana's tourism industry brings in billions of dollars every year to our local economy.
So with so many cancellations and rescheduling in our state, what does that mean for the bottom line of our city and our state? Alyssa Donovan went looking for answers. Alyssa, what did you find out? And good morning to you.
Visitors spent a record $13.2 billion here in Indiana last year. That came in the form of restaurant spending, shopping, entertainment, and hotels. So what do we do since we haven't had that income coming to our state? Well, I spoke with an expert about the impact on our economy. According to Jill Gonzalez, an analyst with Wallet Hub, Indiana is one of the luckier states when it comes to the impact of COVID-19 on tourism. The reason? Are other industries which are still vital and running right now. While some states like Florida, Nevada, and Hawaii depend significantly on tourism to keep their states running.
So one of the silver linings here, at least for this industry, is that the Midwest is not too largely affected. Most of the states there are in the bottom 10, and this is a list where you're actually happy to be in the bottom 10.
And the cancellation of the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament, we've lost out on tens of millions of dollars that would be typically coming in to Indiana's tourism industry. But the good news is, since we don't depend on tourism as much as other states, the hope is we'll have a quicker recovery. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Well, coming up, he wanted to help those who needed it during the pandemic, and he found that help from his fellow high school students. Coming up, how a graduating senior is putting his skills to use to help serve his community. Todd.
And today we are enjoying lots of sunshine. That is the good news in this forecast. The bad news is a little cooler than it was yesterday, as high temperatures will be topping off in the low to mid 50s here this afternoon with a bit of a breeze. With that said, it's better than rain. Some of that's heading our way as well. We'll talk about when that arrives coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast.
Keller and Keller.
Welcome back. It is 6:46 on your Tuesday. Here's a live look on the southwest side, I-465, a view near Man Road, where traffic is picking up both eastbound and westbound. The sun is also rising over central Indiana, so grab those sunglasses before you head out there. The good news, no crashes right now to slow you down.
There's Dylan, who is just south of where we find ourselves right now, down in Center Grove. So many of his neighbors and his classmates' neighbors were homebound, and so they're doing home deliveries. They even have a website where you can go and check what you may need, featuring local businesses.
Well, you know you're doing something good for the community when you get a special shout out from the governor of Indiana during his daily press conferences. Dylan Godsave is a graduating senior at Center Grove High School, but he's wise beyond his years. Here at RTV6, part of our mission is We're Open Indy. We're showcasing local businesses that are still open during the pandemic that are open to serve you. And Dylan, he's doing that on another scale. He's connecting people in need with his classmates who can help them, all while supporting local businesses during this COVID-19 pandemic. Loading and unloading, shopping with purpose, and delivering to our neighbors in need. That's the goal of newly created business, Southside Delivers.
And there's really a huge need for this, as we found out.
Dylan Godsave is like many high school seniors right now, out of school and missing those special end-of-the-year traditions. But rather than focusing on what he doesn't have, he's focusing on what he does. And that's coding skills, business know-how, friends who can help him, and the motivation to serve others.
I think that all of us are just in it to help people, and we are not looking to make money. Our goal is just to use our resources to help these people in need.
Dylan created the site called Southside Delivers. It's a local grocery delivery service currently serving people in need in most of the Center Grove School District. The service is free, and that's all thanks to the other side of Southside Delivers, where he promotes local businesses in the area. Not only does Southside Delivers connect people in need with eager young volunteers to do their grocery shopping, the site also features products made by local shops.
Kind of reached out to them to see what we can do to help, and so from there, that's when we started loading on some of their products to our site.
Like Coffee Connection, a local apparel store selling CG spirit wear and quarantine clothing, and his own business venture, Casual Cosmetics. Southside Delivers partners people in need with businesses needing support and healthy young volunteers who are prepared and trained to deliver those goods in a safe way.
The day of our launch, we had 77 deliveries that we did, over 300 people on our site.
And that number continues to climb. So Dylan plans to attend Vancouver Film School next year with the hopes of maybe living out in LA or Vancouver, working on TV shows. But as for right now, he is supporting his school community of Center Grove. So if you would like to order from Southside Delivers, or maybe you're a student and you want to volunteer, or maybe you're a local business that's open and you want to partner with them, we posted everything you need to know on our website, theindychannel.com. Just click on this story. And guys, I told Dylan, okay, I'm a Center Grove grad as well, and thinking back to my senior year, I was not doing this. I think I was just trying to get a good grade on my calculus exam and prepare for graduation. So a pretty impressive guy. It's a pretty crazy and awesome operation down there.
Lauren, you have another reason to be a proud Center Grove alum, and we're all very proud of Dylan. All the best to him in the future. And Todd, we're happy with you this morning as well because, hey, it's going to be okay out there today.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be great. I'm going to start off keeping the theme. Southside Delivers there, and we're talking about your Takeout Tuesday forecast right off the bat here. We're open a partnership with local restaurants in RTV 6 here to highlight some businesses that are still open. And you can find all those businesses on theindychannel.com/open. But for my Takeout Tuesday forecast, I'm going to take you down to Monroe County and Bloomington. And here, right on the square there in Bloomington, you find Smokeworks and Social Cantina. They're right next door to each other. They are attached to each other. You can get from one to the other when they're open, obviously, but they're open for carry out and delivery. My top takes, the Dixie two-step tray there at Smokeworks. If you're not feeling barbecue, maybe some of your family wants Mexican. The El Matador Bowl is great. And of course, everybody wants a margarita maybe on the patio. They sell kits there to make your own. So support some businesses there in Bloomington, as well as all the businesses here in Central Indiana on this Takeout Tuesday forecast. And it's a good forecast, as Raphael mentioned, 40s and 50s here this morning. We are in the process of cooling down across the area, and that's because a cold front is coming through. And as this cold front comes through, the wind's going to start to kick up a little bit. So it will be breezy today, and because those winds are out of that northwesterly direction, that's going to keep the temperatures from warming much throughout the day. We've already hit our high temperatures for the day today, but we will rebound with that sunshine as we work our way into the afternoon hours. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar in the satellite picture. There were a few sprinkles earlier this morning. They have now moved off towards the east, and we are dealing with just a little bit of lingering cloud cover, but that too will move off to the east very quickly, and we'll be left with a sun-filled day for us. There are those temperatures getting back to around 50 degrees by 3 p.m. Our high temperature today right around 54. Going forward in this forecast, tomorrow we turn the winds more southerly, and that brings the temperatures right back up into the 60s like we were yesterday. In fact, some locations tomorrow could get up to 70 degrees with skies that'll go from mostly sunny to partly cloudy throughout the afternoon hours, but we will remain dry. That changes on Thursday. Thursday, we bring rain into the equation. In fact, Thursday is probably the wettest day in our 7-day planning forecast. As we work our way throughout the day, the rain can be fairly steady at times. Once we get past Thursday and we look at your 7-day planning forecast, there'll be numerous opportunities to pick up some showers as we enter a pretty unsettled weather pattern that'll carry us into the weekend. The good news is temperatures don't get too chilly even with those showers around. For the most part, Raphael, we will be in the 60s.
Todd, thank you so much. To one little girl, she is definitely a superhero. Next on Good Morning Indiana, the adorable gift the state's top doctor received and where it's going to be displayed very soon. You're watching RTV6.
The RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
Thanks, Harper. You're my new favorite artist. I can't wait to frame it and put it up in my office. You're a love. Thank you, honey.
Indiana's health commissioner has become much more prominent since she is featured every day in the governor's coronavirus briefings. So Dr. Box sent a thank you for this picture of her as a superhero. And that picture was sent to her by Harper Close. She's a student at Eden Elementary School in Hancock County, and she now has a new superhero. And what an artist. Hey.
Yeah, that looks great. I think if the sunshine keeps up, Todd, we could have some kids drawing you some pictures of superhero Todd, because I think they want to get outside.
I'd love to see those pictures. And we will keep the sunshine today and tomorrow. That's when things get a little unsettled once we get past that point. Thursday is the day we target for rain to return. Today, though, it's a cool morning. Temperature still in the process of cooling off across the area, but we'll rebound back up into the low 50s later on this afternoon. So it's a bright day, a little breezy, and just a little bit on the cooler side. And here is a look at that 7-day planning forecast that shows the rain returning on Thursday. Then it remains a little unsettled as we work our way into Friday and Saturday. Thursday is probably the wettest day. Friday and Saturday, definitely not washouts. There's a lot of dry hours mixed in, but take advantage of today and tomorrow with the sunshine that'll be around both days.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with your local news, weather, and of course your traffic updates. Remember, all your news can be found throughout the day on the RTV6 mobile app. Thanks for joining us. We hope you have a great Tuesday.